before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also hit that bell for notifications each time we go live. This is Hello Colorado. All right, y'all, we're about to get started. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with everything Colorado sports. Let's make this show the best part of your week. Let's go! Hello, Colorado. We are back for another edition after a week's hiatus. I could breathe now. Had a little upper respiratory issue going on. I got taken care of, and we are back and better. I missed you. I hope you guys all missed me as well. Do me a favor, like, follow, subscribe, and share this live video for me so we could build our audience together and make this the best sports streaming show in Colorado. Shout out to producer, cameraman, Domo in the back. Appreciate everything you do for me. We are going to jump into the Broncos and Falcons. Man, was it a beatdown. From kickoff to the last whistle, the Broncos were all over the Falcons. Unexpected to me because the Falcons were actually rolling a little bit. The Falcons also had beat some pretty decent teams up until this point. And Sean Payton and Bo Nix flexed their muscles yesterday in a 38-6 victory. Bo Nix tossed 4 touchdowns, his first 300-yard game, his first 4-touchdown game, and nearly had a perfect passer rating. The run game wasn't all there for Sean Payton and the Broncos, as they have failed to have a 100-yard rusher all season long. Javonte Williams, season high is 88. He only had 59 yards. He did have a touchdown yesterday. But Bo Nix, man, is this a story? The 6th quarterback taken off the board. He's outplaying Caleb Williams. He's right there with Jaden Daniels as Offensive Rookie of the Year. Just unexpected. It's out of nowhere. This defense, the number 1 sack defense in the league. They're leading the league in sacks with 30. Those 4 guys up front, we have Nick Bonito, DJ Jones, Zach Allen, Jonathan Franklin Myers. Those big boys are getting after it. The big boys are getting after it, and it's making Pat Surtain and Riley Moss, their job on the back end is becoming way easier because the pressure that those big boys up front are getting. And this guy, Riley Moss right here, number 21, hell of a job opposite Pat Surtain. These defenses don't want to go to at Pat Surtain at all. So, of course, they go to the white boy cornerback. You know what I'm saying? He's a diamond in the defensive back world because of his skin color. But he's holding it down. I believe he has more picks than Pat right now because they're not going at Pat. But Riley Moss is holding it down opposite Pat. And, man, Vance Joseph has this defense rolling. 3rd-ranked defense in all of the league. Number 1 sack defense. Playoffs? Are we talking about playoffs yet for this Broncos team? It'll be interesting just because the AFC is kind of deep right now. You have the Steelers and the Ravens over there in the AFC North, I believe. Sorry. And then you have the Chiefs 9-1 here in the AFC West, and San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers 7-3. So playoffs, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to sneak in that 3rd and final wild card spot, but it's possible. It's possible. All you need is a little bit of help from the other divisions. Beat the Chargers when you see the Chargers. You already lost to them once. Beat the Chiefs when you see the Chiefs. You've already lost to them once. It's hard to get swept in the NFL. You have any given Sunday. But this Broncos team is legit. 38-6. That's no slouch. They didn't let the Falcons score at all. Kirk Cousins fumbled once. He threw an interception. I'm not going to say I'm surprised because, like I said, I've seen this defense and what they could do. They went 5-0 last year had the most takeaways in a 5-game stretch in NFL history last year. And they're just getting better and better. There's some games this year the Denver Broncos should not have lost, but they did. Now they're in this predicament. However, they do control their destiny. The Denver Broncos next week, 2-8 Raiders team, got to get it done. I know the Raiders had previously, I believe it was a 6 or 7 game win streak. The Broncos hadn't beat the Raiders since about 2020. But the Raiders are no good. They're not good. They trade away all their best players. A couple years ago, they got rid of Derek Carr. They have no chance at the quarterback position right now with Gardner Minshew. I couldn't even tell you who they're playing at quarterback. I couldn't tell you who they're playing at wide receiver or running back. Fact of the matter is the Broncos have to get this W. They can't let the rivalry hinder them. They have to go in with a focused mindset. I know it's any given Sunday, but the Raiders are 2-8. They're bad. They will probably have one of the top picks. They traded away Devontae Adams to the Jets. The Jets are bad. It's just bad on bad over there. It's the bad trading with the bad. And the Broncos need to beat the 2-8 Raiders next week, who, in all honesty, will probably be drafting Shedeur Sanders. The way the Raiders season is looking, they will have a top 3 pick, and Shedeur Sanders, he'll be the best quarterback in the draft. I'm not saying they'll have the number 1 pick. Shedeur might go number 1, but they will definitely have a top pick. And that leads me to the CU Buffs versus the Utah Utes. 49-24 in the third quarter. They kind of let the Utes come back a little bit. But man, Deion Sanders and the Buffs are flexing their muscles right now. And they have a strong chance to be in the Big 12 title game if they win out. Shedeur Sanders on Saturday threw 3 touchdowns, 340 yards. But it wasn't his usual suspects he was throwing to. We had the freshman Draylon Miller. He led all receivers. He reminds me of Deebo Sanders, honestly, the way he was breaking tackles. We got one video of Shedeur Sanders coming out for the Utah versus CU game. And this crowd, if you look at this video, this crowd is loving the success the CU Buffs are having. And in all honesty, yeah, we've never seen nothing like this at Folsom Field. They're deep. It's a blackout. It looks like a sea, the Black Sea out there. Love it for Deion Sanders and his boys. If we could just go ahead and play the next 2 videos as well. Like I said, it wasn't your usual suspects. Draylon Miller, what do he have? 6 catches, 108 yards, and a touchdown. We had Will Shepard, had 5 catches, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. In this video right here, Will Shepard absolutely mossed the kid. He just went up and, this is Draylon Miller. Oh, I was telling you guys, look, he reminds me of Deebo so much. Breaking tackles, getting to the end zone. He's a freshman. And I love the dance. But he is a freshman. Let me say that again. He's a freshman. And then there's Will Shepard mossing him. He's too little. I love how they let the kids celebrate nowadays, especially in the Little League. We got some videos of the Little League kids celebrating. But I love that celebration right there. It's like the emoji. He's too little. That was Will Shepard. One of 2 Will Shepard touchdowns. And then 4 other Buffs scored. 4 other Buffs scored. We had Heisman hopeful Travis Hunter scored. Isaiah Auguste scored. Charlie Offerdahl scored. And LeJontay Wester scored. These Buffs, I don't hear any haters. I don't see any comments on Instagram anymore. Ranked number 16 in the country, the Buffs have a shot at the top 12. And you know what that means, right? Excuse me. Top 12s is playoffs. So not only are we talking about the Broncos trying to get that wild card spot, but we're also talking about the CU Buffs trying to get in the playoffs. How beautiful is that? It's a different day and age right now in Denver, Colorado, all of Colorado. The last good CU team, I believe Philip Lindsay was on it, and they got absolutely demolished in their bowl game. But yeah, the CU Buffs, they control their own destiny as well. They have the Kansas Jayhawks up next. The Kansas Jayhawks are 4-6, but let's not sleep on this Kansas Jayhawk team. They don't suck. All of their games are close games. They take everybody to the wire. They just knocked off undefeated BYU, doing the Colorado Buffs a favor. And CU and Deion Sanders, they'll have to go to Arrowhead next week to face the Kansas Jayhawks. And the Kansas Jayhawks are looking to play upset. They're looking to knock everybody from the rankings that they can. They just knocked Iowa State down the rankings. They just knocked BYU down the rankings in back-to-back weeks. So they are building momentum. And CU has to stay focused. It'll be a cold Saturday at Jayhawk, or it's not Jayhawk Stadium. It'll be at Arrowhead Field where the Chiefs play. But yeah, they have to stay focused and get the job done. 2 more wins, and they'll be in the Big 12 championship. 3 more wins, they'll be in the playoffs. And as unbelievable as it sounds, the Colorado State Rams have the opportunity to propel the CU Buffs into the playoffs. Stay with me here, all right? CSU, since losing to Colorado, they've only lost 1 more game. CSU is 7-3 right now, I believe. And as long as CSU wins out, they will see Boise State in the Mountain West Conference Championship. Like I said, stay with me. We have a top 25 rankings. If CU wins out and they beat BYU, number 14, then they will surpass BYU. If CSU wins out and they beat Boise State in the Mountain West Conference Championship, Boise State will be out, propelling Colorado into the playoffs. Stay with me. The top 4 teams of every conference make the playoffs. Or, excuse me, the top 4 teams, whoever win the conference, makes the playoffs. So the Oregon Ducks, they make the playoffs for the Big Ten. The SEC, right now, Texas is the top team. They will make the playoffs. The ACC, right now, Miami is right there. If Colorado State can beat Boise State, CU will be the next top team. As long as they win out, they will be the Big 12 champions, and they will make the playoffs. Woo! Now, wouldn't that be a love story? Little brother coming through for big brother. I love it. Yeah, that's the only way I see Colorado making the playoffs. They have to win out, and then CSU has to get it done versus Boise State in order for Deion and his Buffs to make the playoffs. That was a lot to unload for you guys. I know that. But that's the only way CU is getting into this first ever college football playoffs. And honestly, it's super exciting. It's not your regular foes going to be in there. The SEC's knocking each other around and knocking each other out of the top 12. So that's good that they're not going to dominate the playoffs in its first ever inaugural season, I should say. But yeah, let's see if they can do it. And you heard it here first. CSU needs to win out for CU to get in the playoffs. They both need to win out, but CSU, we didn't forget about you. You're there in I think you should come through for the whole state and allow Big Brother to get some shine on the big stage. Moving on. Oh, and shout out who is that? I think 6 players from CU scored on Saturday. Shout out Charlie Offerdahl, Isaiah Auguste, Travis Hunter, and LeJontay Wester. They all scored. I think we're pulling that up now. If not, it's cool. We could move on. Yes. All 4 scored. LeJontay's coming out of nowhere. Auguste, is a sophomore. Hear me out. Besides Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, Shiloh, besides Dion's luggage that he came, this is a young Colorado football team. Very young Colorado football team, and I don't see Dion just up and leaving this program that he's basically built from nothing. 1-11 the season before he got there. So let's watch out for them. They're doing big things in their second season. I think their third season, CU will definitely be a problem. From one Buffs to another Buffs, the 10U Junior Buffs got the job done all the way out in Missouri to take the regional championship from the Kansas State Falcons. Shout out to Junior Buffs. They traveled hours on the road. Some of those folks drove. Some of those folks caught planes. But they came out with a W. 3 W's over this weekend. So next year, that was the 10U Buffs. Next year, they're going to 11U. And it's safe to say that the 11U football runs through the Junior Buffs. Everything west of the Mississippi, you got to go through these Junior Buffs. They went all the way to Missouri. They beat a team from Kansas City. They beat a team from Oklahoma. I believe the number 1 team, Oklahoma Sooners, 10U football team. They beat them. It was rugged. The score was 13-7 for the Oklahoma game. And then they beat the Kansas City Falcons 7-6, I believe. And yeah, those are your regional champions. Anything Midwest of the Mississippi River runs through those guys right there. Also, we had the Park Hill Pirates. They went to regionals. They took second. Hell of a job from these guys, though. They necked out almost every win. They couldn't get the job done out in Arizona. However, it's not bad for the 11U Park Hill Pirates. They're taking home second place in regions. And then Hit Squad also took second in region. And we have a video from Calais Campbell, actually. Denver native, Park Hill Pirate alum. And he went ahead and shouted out his Park Hill Pirates on Thursday Night Football last week. If we could play that video. Who said Colorado don't get no love? Calais Campbell of the Miami Dolphins showing our city some love last Thursday.
I gotta give a shout out to Park Hill Pirates, the legendary Tony Wells, man. You know, hey, that's where I come from, Denver, Colorado, man. They made me.
Hometown, Colorado versus everybody. Big stage, shout out Calais Campbell. Oh, and that's a big guy right there. He's probably 6'6", nearly 300. But yeah, he's from the city, ground roots. Just keep working and be there too.
To Park Hill Pirates, the legendary Tony Wells, man. You know, hey, that's where I come from, Denver, Colorado, man. They made me.
Love it. You can.
Somebody in comments, let me know if the audio is working. Somebody send me a comment. Let me know if that audio worked for you. However, those 3 teams I talked about, the 10U Buffs, the 11U Pirates, and the 12U Hit Squad, are all moving up one division, and they'll look to dominate this 6th, 7th, and 8th grade divisions. Watch out for them. Yeah, impressive run for all 3 teams. I got to watch them throughout the Little League season from August to now, and we're going to have to start bringing some teams out here. We're always traveling. Even when I was young, we traveled all the way to Las Vegas. We beat up on some kids. We got smacked around a little bit too, but we got to bring the region here, bring the Arizona teams here, bring the Nebraska and the Missouri, all the teams here, so we're not traveling. I know some of those teams that travel to Arizona and Missouri and Las Vegas, the whole team can't go. You know what I'm saying? It's life. There's situations. But if we bring those teams here and have our own super regional tournament, maybe we could pull out those victories. Those were some tough losses, and there was no blowouts. So, yeah, that's what we are looking for next year. We're going to bring the super regional to the city, to the town. Moving on to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, he's out with some personal reasons. We just want to extend a hand or just a word to Nikola. Hope everything is okay. Hope there's no losses in his family. The Nuggets are 0-2 without the MVP. Whew. It's I don't know what to say. I know it's a 5-man sport, but without Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets, they haven't looked very good, and there's no timetable on how long he'll be gone. They lost the last 2, and then their next 5 are against some formidable teams, the Grizzlies on the 19th, the Mavs, the Lakers, the Knicks, the Jazz to close out the month. 7-5 on the year. I'm not too worried about the Denver Nuggets. Right now they're ranked 6th in the Western Conference. I believe they're going to be able to build on that as the season goes along. But if there's no timetable on Jokic's health, it's early. It's very early, only 13 games in. But, oh, man, this Denver Nuggets team looks really bad without the man. I mean, he leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists. I don't know how you work around that. I don't know how you delegate how you run the offense, what you do as a team without him. That's for Michael Malone to decide. Like I said, we're not too worried about the Nuggets. But let's hope they could close the month on a little streak, as they are 7-5 right now. Don't want to fall under 500. As soon as we know when Nikola Jokic will come back, we'll let you know. Yeah, it's early, but Jamal's not stepping up. We know who Michael Porter Jr. is, and without Nikola Jokic, I hate to say it, but this Nuggets team looks like a lottery team. Looks like they'll be picking high. But like I said, let's hope everything's fine with Nikola Jokic. We know he likes basketball. He doesn't love it, but we need the MVP for this little run they're trying to go on. Still didn't start Russell Westbrook with Nikola Jokic being out. The Nuggets are undefeated when he starts. I know they play 2 different positions. However, they're both triple-double machines. So, yeah, let's try working around Westbrook. I know it's hard to say because sometimes he'll score 2 points, but we're not getting nothing from Jamal. We're not getting anything from Michael Porter Jr. We're getting 15 points a game from each of them. I'm not going to say nothing, but yeah. Nikola, I hope you're doing well, man. Aaron Gordon's out. So let's pray for our Nuggets. Let's hope they get it right. And that will do it for our show. Hey, Instagram page coming soon. Hello Colorado Instagram page. More highlights, more talks, more clips, and follow, subscribe, like the page, hit that bell on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, follow the R page. Do me that solid. We'll see you guys next week. Preach.